Hi there, this is Bill O'Leary. Congratulations on undertaking your estate planning. We look forward to doing a great job for you, and we promise to give you a client experience you can't find anywhere else. And I'm confident you'll be so happy that you won't want to keep us a secret. Now, as part of your planning, you've retained us to help you align your assets with your trust. This is what we call asset alignment, and it's very important, a very important part of the process of having a successful trust plan. Think of asset alignment as sort of a partnership between us. While we will provide you asset alignment services, it's vital that you help us. Your cooperation is needed for successful asset alignment. We will need you to gather a lot of information about your assets and get it back to us as quickly as you can. Now, we've given you a workbook to fill out. Please fill this out and get it back to us just as soon as you can. I simply ask that you take this responsibility and this partnership seriously. Now, let me explain what asset alignment is. Establishing a trust, but then failing to align your assets with the trust, well, that's like opening a bank account without depositing a single penny. Your trust may be worth nothing more than the paper it's printed on until your assets are aligned with it. Sometimes this process of asset alignment is called funding a trust. Asset alignment is simply the process of either transferring assets into the trust or making sure that your beneficiary designations are aligned with your trust plan. Those assets aren't protected by the terms of the trust until this happens. So asset alignment is an essential part of creating a trust. Now, creating a trust is essentially a two-step process. First, the trust agreement is drafted. We've helped you determine what type of trust will best serve your needs, what terms and protections the trust should have, and what assets you'll hold in the trust. As the person who created the trust, you signed the completed trust agreement. But if you sign the trust agreement and then do nothing else, the trust won't serve its purpose. The second part of establishing your trust is aligning your assets with it. Again, sometimes called funding the trust. The terms of the trust only apply to assets that are held within it or assets that are designated to go to the trust by way of a beneficiary designation. You don't benefit from any of the protections that a trust affords until it's funded. And you as trustee can't control or access assets that haven't been properly transferred to the trust. Now, let's say you create a trust with the intention of using it to transfer, I don't know, your house or other property to your children when you die, without them having to go through probate. If you fail to complete those transfers, the property will not become part of the trust. Your children will still have to go through probate when you die, subjecting them to up to many months of legal proceedings and potentially costing them thousands of dollars. And furthermore, the probate process opens up a deceased loved one's estate to claims from creditors. Assets held in trust may be inaccessible to creditors. Now, how the asset alignment process works depends on what assets you want to transfer. With assets that have a legal title or deed, such as real estate, you'll need to change the owner's name into the name of the trust. Untitled assets like furniture and personal items may be transferred to the trust by creating what are called assignment forms. For financial accounts that are not retirement accounts, you can change ownership of the accounts into the trust, or you can designate the trust as either what's called the pay on death or transfer on death beneficiary of the account. Now, transferring financial accounts may require you to provide the financial institution with proof that the trust exists. Because it's so common to use trust in this way, financial institutions generally have clear processes that clients that are funding trusts can easily follow. For retirement accounts, we will help you align your beneficiary designations. And in a similar fashion, for life insurance and annuities, we will help you align your beneficiary designations with your trust. Again, we'll help you with all of this, but with your cooperation. Now, the asset alignment process might seem daunting to some people, but it's often more time-consuming than it is truly difficult. Remember, we will help you determine how to approach this process. Now, like so many other parts of estate planning, aligning your assets with your trust can be complicated. Determining which assets you can and should move to a trust isn't something most people can or should do on their own. The team here at Legacy Planning Law Group, we're here to help with all parts of the trust creation as well as the asset alignment process. That's what you've hired us to do. Now, aligning assets with a trust will involve some very specific legal paperwork and actually requires you to take a survey or an inventory of your assets and belongings, as well as to consider what you want to be included. And as we explained to you, we provide 2 levels of asset alignment services, one called Done With You and the other called Done For You. Now, the Done With You level of service probably is included with the plan you selected. Here, we provide guidance on how to align your assets. The legwork, though, is done by you. And I'll tell you, many of our clients really prefer the Done With You approach because they feel they can fill out the paperwork just as well as we can, and they can deal with the financial institutions just as easily as we can. But then there are some people that just want us to handle everything. It's as if they bring in the proverbial shoebox to the office filled with overflowing papers and slide it across the table and just say to us, "You handle it." For those types of people, the Done For You approach is perfect. Now, of course, for the Done For You approach, there is an additional charge for those asset alignment services, and so it's for this reason that most clients select the Done With You approach. So as I bring this to a close, I just want to re-emphasize that we are entering into a partnership so your assets can be properly aligned with your trust. And it's important that you cooperate with us, and I'm sure that you will. We look forward to a great partnership.